Number 5. Antonov An-124. The Antonov An-124 Ruslan, better known as the Condor, is a civilian aircraft. The aircraft was built by Antonov and Aviastar. The design of this aircraft began in the late 70s, and its first flight took place in April 1982. Its commercial use began in 1986. The aircraft broke many records, the most important of which was carrying a payload of 171,219 kilograms at an altitude of 10,750 meters, and Antonov Ukrainian Airlines with 17 aircraft. The main beneficiaries of the agreement are the French Army and the Russian company, which are seeking to escalate tensions between Russia and the West over the Ukraine crisis and Russia's role in Syria. In response to Western sanctions, it has announced that it will withdraw from the agreement by the end of 2018. Antonov An-124 Condor. An-124 is a Russian giant 69.1 meters and 175 tons that can carry up to 150 tons of cargo, and its maximum weight when lifting is 405 tons. Of course, this aircraft was built during the former Soviet era and entered service in 1987. This aircraft is so large that it has only 6 crew members. The aircraft has a range of 4,500 kilometers with a maximum cargo weight, and if it weighs 40 tons, it can travel up to 12,000 kilometers. Interestingly, this aircraft can carry up to 438 soldiers with full equipment. A total of 54 An-124s have been built, of which more than 40 are still in service. It is interesting to know that most of them are 40 An-124s, and only a few of them are in the service of the Russian Air Force. The maximum speed of this aircraft is 865 km per hour. 1024 PX Antonov An-225 Antonov An-124 Condor Russian heavy transport aircraft. The aircraft uses 4 ZMKB Progress D-18T engines, each producing about 230 knots. Antonov An-124 Condor can be loaded front and rear. Number 4. McDonnell Douglas KC-10 Extender. In order to deal with this shortcoming, more or less special aircraft have been in operation for a long time, which are able to carry a significant amount of fuel in addition to meeting their needs using special equipment and techniques, in flight, fuel needed by other aircraft. To provide. Among the dozens of types of refueling aircraft used by different countries, especially the United States, Britain and Russia. The Extender aircraft with the technical mark built by McDonnell Douglas Aerospace Complex is part of the advanced refueling aircraft. It should be noted that this type of aircraft is a modified model of DC-10 passenger aircraft, which in addition to refueling also performs air transport missions. The Extender has 7 integrated fuel tanks without soldering. 4 of these tanks are located in the rear of the wings and 3 in the front, in the center of the main fuselage and in the lower deck. A ventilation system maintains the temperature of these areas optimally. If the aircraft is forced to make an emergency landing with fuel-filled tanks, the fuel tanks are protected by special steel columns as well as shock-absorbing mechanisms located in the appropriate places. Plates and vents are installed in the lower part of the main fuselage, which allows easy access to fuel tanks for various visits. In general, the capacity of all fuel tanks of the Extender aircraft is 161,511 kilograms, of which 108,213 kilograms is stored in the wing tanks and 53,298 kilograms in the tanks inside the fuselage. The KC-10 cargo compartment is located on the upper deck of the aircraft. This part with dimensions of 5.7 meters wide and 2.5 meters high and a volume of 346 cubic meters can accommodate up to 77,112 kilograms of cargo. Number 3. V-22 Osprey. The Bell Boeing V-22 Osprey is a U.S. multi-mission, rotating military aircraft capable of vertical takeoff and landing and short takeoff. The aircraft is designed to combine the performance of a conventional helicopter with the performance of a long-range, high-speed cruise aircraft from a turboprop aircraft. The failure of Operation Eagle Claw in 1980 indicated that there were military plans in which neither conventional helicopters nor fixed-wing transport aircraft were suitable. The U.S. Department of Defense has launched a program to develop an innovative transport aircraft with long-range, high-speed and vertical capabilities. Joint service of the Vertical Takeoff Landing Test Program officially began in 1981. Partnership between Bell Helicopters and Boeing Helicopters in 1983, a development contract was signed for the Tilt-Turner V-22. The Bell-Boeing team is jointly producing the aircraft. Crew, pilot, co-pilot, 2 flight engineers. Capacity, 24 soldiers on a chair, 32 soldiers on the ground, or 9,070 kilograms internal load, or maximum 6,800 kilograms external load. The maximum ascent speed is 11.8 meters per second. Maximum speed 509 kilometers h at sea level minus 565 kilometers h at an altitude of 4,600 meters. The length is 17.5 meters width with butterfly, 25.8 meters. Butterfly diameter 11.60 meters. Wing area 28 square meters. The maximum takeoff weight is 27,400 kilograms. Drive, 2 Rolls-Royce Allison T406A1107C Liberty engines each with 6,150 horsepower. Number 2, Boeing Dreamlifter. One of the most commercial and practical constructions of Boeing's famous aircraft company is the Boeing 787 Dreamliner series aircraft. This modern and wide-body aircraft is very popular among many companies and airlines and is in great demand. On January 28, 2005, its design was introduced to the market and the world. The aircraft was not initially called the Boeing 787 Dreamliner and later became known by the public. On April 26, 2005, after the first images of the aircraft were released and introduced to the world, the latest fuselage designs it was over and the Boeing 787 and its special design were introduced to everyone. It actually has 2 powerful jet engines. The number of passengers that this aircraft can carry, depending on the type of seats, and their number is equal to 210 to 330 people. Number 1, Strata Launch. The Strata Launch is a massive aircraft designed to launch rockets into Earth orbit and is known as the world's largest aircraft. Since the introduction of the Strata Launch aircraft in June 2017, there has been a lot of talk about this amazing device. The Strata Launch is known as the largest aircraft in the world, and its dimensions are such that one fuselage is not enough to support it. The aircraft's makers, who have designed a series of rigorous tests to confirm it from its inception until launch in 2019, plan to send the Strata Launch to a rocket in one of the Earth's orbits as a low Earth orbit is known, have announced. The International Space Station and many satellites are in orbit, and most spaceflight takes place in near-Earth orbit, which is between 160 and 1930 kilometers high. The Strata Launch aircraft was built under the auspices of Paul Allen, one of the world's richest men and one of the founders of Microsoft. Regarding the construction of the aircraft, Allen said that the main goal was to provide access to Earth orbit in the simplest and most reliable way possible. The world's largest aircraft does this by launching rockets into the sky and into space, and the builders hope that with the launch of the aircraft, the cost of launching a rocket into space will decrease dramatically. The wingspan of this huge aircraft is 117 meters, which is more than the length of a football field. Each of the fuselages is 73 meters long and 15 meters high, and the whole vehicle is equipped with 6 turbofan engines.